Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Uh, Welcome back to Birth Month, where we are taking a little trip. Three movie. Uh, a series of three movie reviews that have to do with my young theatrical experience, and this was the first movie I ever saw on my own without my mom. Although, upon doing research, I started filming this. Then I decided to do more research. And I realized that everything I thought I knew about going to see this, I thought it was about myself. Because I remember there was a whole thing about, I should look up later, not now. I gotta look it up, hold on. Everything I knew was a lie. Okay, so I think this goes with the story. So, when I turned 13 in the year 2000, I wanted to go see a movie. The only thing playing at the time, a PG-13 movie, the only thing playing at the time was The Cider House Rules, which came out in December, and December 10th. I'm assuming it was still going because I remember seeing that when I turned 13, but I didn't, whatever. I didn't want to see that. It sounded boring to me. So I don't remember ever going to see anything and unlook it up. As far as I know, Save the Last Dance, movie I'm talking about in this video, by the way, is the first movie I saw on my own without my mom. So, after gathering and regaining my memory, I was with this workforce development group. It was an early work thing for me at 13, apparently, going on 14. We were going to go to a movie. They were going to take us to Finding Forrester. And I guess it wasn't playing at the time anymore. I don't know. According to the thing, it went till March. Maybe here they took it out early. I don't know. If it's the same theater that I worked in, they like to take movies out really quick. So, even back then. So we went to see Save the Last Dance instead. And I don't really remember the actual theater experience. Obviously, I didn't even realize I went with these people. But, yeah. And when I started doing the other one, I was like, what could I ever made me want to go see this? Now that I know that it was like a second choice, because you couldn't go to the other one, I can see it. Why this group would take us to this, this feels like a movie that a school could take you. This is about race relations. Because it's a young white girl with a young white man. So, yeah. But I do remember when I went to see Dance Flick, because I did. I went to see it. I paid money for that. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. The skeleton of that movie is this movie, is Save the Last Dance. Take a lot of things, the race relationship, the mom dying at the beginning, the dance school stuff, and they had the stuff from Fame and High School Musical. Yeah, that whole thing. So the story here focuses on Sarah, played by Julia Stiles, who, after the death of her mother, is forced to move to her father's place because she's only 17. Although, technically, she could be on her own with his consent, so obviously he didn't consent. And she's, for lack of a better term, she's taken to this urban community, this urban neighborhood, where most of the people in her school are black. And she connects with this black teenager named Shanice or something like that, and her brother, what the hell is his name? God damn it. Is it Kevin? No, it's not Kevin. What the hell is his name? Derek, who's played by Sean Patrick Thomas, and I was surprised to find out that Kerry Washington was the sister. I was like, really? There's actors in here I didn't think I could see. Kerry Washington, Bianca Lawson, who plays the bitch, basically. Yeah. And so now she has to kind of adjust to this and a growing romance between her and Derek and trying to move on from her mother's death. It's a coming of age story and it's in an urban neighborhood. Yeah, so we start off, they incorporate flashbacks because we start off, she's on like a train or a bus or something and she's talking to this black woman. And she's basically telling the story of what happened, or we see flashbacks that she was pressuring her mom to come see her perform, and actually, don't they also do this in Scary Movie 5? Don't they always also parody that? I swear there's 2 different parodies of it. I don't know. She was rushing her to come and see her. And because she is trying out for Juilliard. And, well, not only does she not get it, but she finds out that her mom died on the way there in a car accident. Not too long after, she is then transferred to goes to live with her dad in the urban neighborhood. And she starts to get acquainted to these young African American students. There's Kerry Washington, I don't remember her name. Shani? I'll go Shani. Shani and her brother Derek. And then their other friend Snooki. I don't know. No, it's not the one with Jay Wow and Robbie E. Or Robbie D, whatever his name is. No. Or is it Ronnie? Ronnie or Robbie? Ronnie? Ronnie. The fucking... I don't watch the Jersey Shore. I don't know. I never watched that shit. Are you kidding me? I think it's Ronnie. A coworker of mine would hit me and go, "It's Ronnie, okay? Hit me no more." But she's obviously got issues with her dad because he wasn't ever around. Something I'm familiar with. And now he kind of has to be the dad type character. But he's a jazz musician where he performs somewhere. I don't know where. So she starts to kind of connect with these people, and she's brought to this club called Steps with 2 P's, and that's where she meets Derek, and she starts to kind of connect with Derek, and Derek starts teaching her the dance moves. You see the thing, and I want to say the Scary Movie 2 actually used part of that for their movie. That right, left, right, son, yo, that jacket is tight. Nah, I mean, I swear that's where that came from. Even if it's a small part of that movie, I don't know, but he kind of teaches her to put like R&B type moves into her ballet stuff. Yeah. One thing to talk about this movie, soundtrack. Now I'm obviously wider than a boiled egg, but I can appreciate some R&B and some hip hop. And when you think of the early 2000s hip hop, there's a lot of good songs here. You get that song that Eric was with the Pepto-Bismol, I'm going crazy, crazy, just thinking about you, baby, on the way to the airport. He'd get it. And there's like, they do a hip hop version of True Colors. That's pretty cool. I actually added that to my Spotify because it was when where is it? I don't know when it was, but it was kind of. I thought maybe it was awkward back then. There was not really a sex scene, but they do start to kind of make out like it's gonna happen, but They don't go that far, which is weird because some PG-13 you can do something. You can get up with the like a topless guy and they make out. I don't even go that far. But just find a group of 13-year-olds that need to, you know. I was almost 14. Okay. Just saying. But yeah. And then I feel the movie falls apart when it has its, we'll call it a Grease moment, where everything's going great. She has this relationship with Derek and everything's going smooth. Her dad is still a little rocky, but it works because it isn't like she was out with them at Steps, and she comes home and he's all like, I need to know where you are at all times. And I can understand his sternness, but he's inherited this teenage girl that he never had any time with, and so he's scared. He's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. As a father, I understand you're worried about your son. I just got news today that my son has a concussion from playing basketball, and I'm thinking, basketball? He also played football. You think football would be the one? Some kid pushed him. He hit his head, and now he has a concussion. I hope that kid who pushed him got in trouble. Unless it was like during playing the game, but I still don't know. That's still my friend Brandon's like, when he gave him a foul, suspend the kid. No, probably not, but I don't know. If it was part of the game, then I can't really get too mad. Just don't push him that hard. He hit his concussion. But like, yeah, you worry about your child, especially when you're not around him a lot. And this guy inherited this 17-year-old. He doesn't know. You know, I mean, she's probably more responsible than he probably thinks, but yeah. But like I said, we have the Grease moment. So there's this girl, Nikki, who's played by Bianca Lawson. She shows up at the beginning. She has some kind of history with Derek. And so Derek and Sarah go on a dance floor at Steps to show the dance moves that he taught her, and they're doing pretty good. And this Snooki comes in there, a la Sonny from, I don't think he was trying to do anything wrong, which it still confuses me. Although the live version of Grease actually does it better. If I ever decide to review that version. But Snooki comes in and he starts dancing with Sarah. Then Nikki shows up and basically takes Derek away. And they just kind of, Sarah gets pissed and starts to walk off until Derek realizes what's going on and goes after her. And they have a little spat, and then they kind of make up. And like, okay, it wasn't a big thing like on Grease. But then I started to think maybe they should have just split up there, and because it's weird. Because Shanice's baby is sick. Is it Shanice? So they take him to the hospital, and she's having problems with her baby daddy not wanting to take responsibility, and she's trying to put it off, and then he wants to take responsibility, but the kid doesn't know him, so it's freaking out. So she's freaking out, and now he's sick, and so she's taking him to the hospital, and she's frustrated with all this, and so she just lashes out at Sarah, basically like going all off on her about what happened. About, oh, maybe you shouldn't be together because you're white and he's black, and we got to throw that in here, but not really do it right. They could have handled this in a way that could have been something. Like, what if it's the dad, right? The dad doesn't say one word about this relationship, and maybe it's him that's the problem, not this Nikki or something. I don't know, but they end up in an argument because this lowers her confidence. She's not able to practice anymore, and they end up having an argument, and they split. And then there's this whole thing with Derek and his friend Malachi or Kai. They're gonna do a drive-by. He just got in to Georgetown, very prestigious college, and now this is gonna throw it all away. He decides this is not what he wants to do and leaves Malachi, who ends up getting arrested. So it's a good thing that he left. You know, this ain't Boys in the Hood where Malachi gets shot to death. No. He gets arrested. But Sarah's already gone to her, because he encouraged her to try out for Juilliard again. So she's already gone there, and he shows up. And she kind of messed up a little bit, and they're like, I'll turn the music off. And she's like, I'm sorry. I need another chance. So they give her another chance. But she's like, they're already giving another chance. But he's like, are you sure you're ready for this? And he's just kind of standing there. She doesn't see Derek at this point. And Derek's like, yes, she is. One thing that irks me is when you're trying to talk and someone behind you keeps on yelling someone's name that you're talking to, or your name when you're trying to talk. Derek is trying to talk to her to kind of build her up, and the whole time this dude is yelling, Miss whatever your last name is, Miss Johnson. I just like, shut the like But she restarts, she does good, and she gets into Juilliard. And then she makes up with Shanice at the club, and everything's fine, and Snooki's there, and then they dance as the movie ends. Yeah, it's kind of what the hell happened to this? I'm so out of frame. I'm sorry, I don't know when that happened. I really don't know. I just looked at the screen. You know I don't look at the screen. I'm sorry. But yeah. So, watching this for the first time, since the first time. So, I went to the theater to see it. I didn't mention this person. It's an MTV movie. So they played it on MTV a lot. I think maybe BET too. I don't know. And I saw bits and pieces when it was on MTV, but I never actually sat down, watched the whole thing till now. So revisiting this 23 years later, it's a time capsule of the time with the music, very 2000s hip hop and R&B. The whole feel of everything is very 2000s urban neighborhood type stuff. The clothes, the talk, everything. Nobody really has cell phones at the time yet, because those were they were around, but they weren't everywhere like they are now. And then they're like little flip phone thingies, or yeah. Although I do want to point out that in 1991, Charlotte Pickles had a cell phone. There's a businesswoman on Rugrats. I'm just saying they had the Jonathan, the whole thing. But yeah, I'll say it's pretty good. It's just interesting to go back and then finally recount my memory, of what happened. But yeah. Oh, and they made a sequel about 4 or 5 years later. Save the Last Dance 2, which brings back the character of Sarah. I've never seen it, but not Julia Stiles. And look, this is what started my crush on Julia Stiles. Okay? Let me tell you. And that's what fueled me getting into probably my favorite movie of hers, 10 Things I Hate About You, which actually came out before this, but, So anyway, what are your thoughts on Save the Last Dance? Let me know how much you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.